5 reasons why Michigan will beat Arizona on Saturday, April 4th at 8:49 or whenever the game tips off, really, p.m. in Indianapolis. Going to be a great game between these two great teams. A lot of fun to see these two teams that have pretty similar styles and honestly, one of the best formidable matchups for Michigan this season with how they operate, how they play. Alabama was a fun matchup because of how much they could shoot. Tennessee was a fun matchup with the defense they had down low. But obviously, Michigan was able to take care of both of those teams. Now, facing a team in Arizona who doesn't quite have the three-point shooting of some other teams. Doesn't mean they can't hit threes. They just choose not to have the volume of some other teams out there, like in Alabama, obviously. But they are a team that is very formidable to face Michigan down low. So it's going to be a matchup that has everybody talking. And right now, KenPom agrees with FanDuel, as FanDuel has Michigan favored by 1.5. KenPom has Michigan winning this one by 1 point. You look here at the Michigan the thing, they have them winning this one 79-78 over Arizona. I got the KenPom preview here next to me, so if you'd like to look at that while I go through some of these things, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening on podcast, I'll go through it all for you. But we are going to talk about why I think this Michigan team will move on to the national championship. Before you call me a Big Ten homer, again, I am not trying to be a Big Ten homer this episode. I'm an Ohio State fan. All right. I am not somebody that wants to see Michigan in the national championship, but one of our mottos on this show is we give credit where credit is due, and that's what we are doing for this Michigan basketball team. Credit where credit is due. This is a fantastic basketball team. This is a fantastic coach in Dusty May. I don't like saying it, but it's true, and we got to acknowledge how good, how special this team is, how special the players are on this team. I loved Ade Mara when he was at UCLA. I thought Mick Cronin never used him the right way. I think Michigan is using Ade Mara very well now. Duke was able to exploit him a little bit, but Dusty May has since then fixed that in a few different ways. Merez Johnson has been fantastic. Got in a bit of a scuffle there against Tennessee, but it was also Tennessee just trying to rile him up a little bit. Carey coming in and bumping him there, which was just kind of Bush League type of stuff. But whatever, they're upset they were losing, and Michigan was getting the win, so you get it. But in Yaxel Lindeborg, Roddy Gale, Trey McKinney, boy, he's going to be a star for this team. Anyway, I could sit here and list the name of the team all day long, and you'd be fine with that. But let's get into the 5 reasons why I think this Michigan team will beat Arizona on Saturday night. Number 1, it's the elite defense of Michigan that I think will shut down. Maybe not completely shut down, right? This isn't going to be a game where Arizona scores like 49 points or something like that, but I think they will shut down Arizona enough on the interior. Right now, Michigan is number 1 in adjusted defense, 89.2. Arizona has the number 4 offense, so good matchup here, but even with the number 4 offense, this is a Michigan defense that is just incredible at defending the paint, and this Arizona offense is very reliant on the paint, their 2-point scoring, and being able to do that stuff. So right now, Arizona, their 2-point field goal percentage is 53rd on KenPom at 55.2%. Michigan is 3rd in the nation at only allowing 44.3%. So I think these numbers get a little conflated sometimes when we talk about, how much teams are able to score and stuff like that, because Arizona is a team that does such a great job of getting to the free throw line. So they don't have the highest 2-point percentage in the world, but they do a great job of getting to the free throw line. But Michigan, number 13 in the nation. So there is a possibility of some, getting to the free throw line here and kind of working through that stuff. But Michigan has been so good at not fouling and also having really good 2-point defense that I think this is going to be a huge thing in favor of Michigan. I think a lot of people are looking at this and saying, well, Arizona can score down low. Not a lot of people are going to, not a lot of teams are going to be able to score on Michigan, but Arizona is. Well, that might be true. I mean, I do think that if Arizona is able to exploit that, that will be one of the reasons why Arizona would win if they do end up winning. But this is also a game where you look at the numbers, you look at how things play out. I think, honestly, probably one of the biggest issues you could have in this one is that Michigan is not great at getting to the free throw line. So if Michigan's defense does fail at not, fouling all that much and everything, and you see a big fouling discrepancy here, then Arizona could have a good shot at winning this game. But I just don't see that happening. I don't see Dusty May having that happen. I think Dusty May is too good of a coach, and I think Dusty May is going to be really good with his lineups and making sure that he prioritizes defending the paint in this one. So I really like Michigan to have the advantage there. Number 2, right now, Michigan has superior perimeter spacing and the 3-point threat that would beat Arizona right now. I know this is crazy to think about because going into the season, everybody's talking point was, well, Michigan doesn't have spacing, Michigan doesn't have the 3-point threat, all these things. Well, Michigan generates far higher 3-point volume rate than Arizona, who is 359th nationally in attempts at just around 16 per game, despite a 37.5% make rate. Arizona's paint heavy style of getting over 26 free throws per game that could get exposed in this one if Arizona is not willing to go to the 3-point line, because you would just be trying to match up best versus best. And I do think if Arizona wins this game, they're going to have to go away from that more. But I think that Michigan is just a team that here in the tournament, we've seen much more confident shooting. I think we've seen much better ball movement on the outside. I mean, there's been clips of Michigan with their ball movement they had against Tennessee, where you had Tennessee basically just like running in circles in that game because of how impressive Michigan was on offense with their ball movement. And I just think we're going to continue to see that in this game. I think that Dusty May has done a really good job of figuring out, how to get this team some more spacing on offense, working those things in. And honestly, even without LJ Kaysen, you have Roddy Gale stepping up, making shots from the outside. You have Trey McKinney stepping up, he's stepped up all season long, the true freshman, to be able to make shots from the outside. And they don't ask him to do too much. I think in a game like this, if they ask Trey McKinney to do too much, I might get concerned with some of the decision making and stuff like that. But they haven't asked him to do too much. And I said going into the tournament, I said, look, if Elliot Cadeau plays like the playmaker, like the point guard that he can be, and is not a detriment to the team, it's the Michigan team that's probably going to win it all. And right now, he's been exactly that for this Michigan team in the tournament. Has it been perfect? No, of course not. It's never going to be perfect. But him, the 3-point shooting of Axel Lindeborg, Roddy Gale, and Trey McKinney hitting shots, and Merez Johnson with his game from the outside, having a threat of that. Ade Mara, he's hit some threes this season as well. So it's not a 5-out offense by any means, but it is an offense that has threats that you have to respect, which makes it even more dangerous. All right, reason number 3, Michigan has just been dominant all season long. They blow out teams. And I'm not saying that Michigan's going to blow out Arizona in this one or anything, but Michigan is a team that knows how to play with the lead. And as we've seen a team like Duke, as we saw a team like UConn that had Michigan State come back against them, it's a problem for teams in the tournament to not know how to play with a lead or not be able to sustain a lead. Michigan is the type of team that knows how to sustain a lead. And so if Michigan does get up by a good number of points in this game, I think they're going to be the type of team that's going to be able to sustain that lead. Michigan has won all 4 NCAA tournament games by 20 points or more, an average margin of victory by 22.5. Arizona's margin is good, but they have some halftime deficits, right? Purdue was able to get out in front 38-31. And I just don't think, if Michigan is winning at halftime 38-31 against this Arizona team, sure, Arizona might come back, but I don't think that's a great recipe for Arizona, right? I think that teams have been able to get off to a good start against Michigan, but eventually they adjust and they make things better for themselves against the other teams. Arizona might be able to do that some, but overall, those adjustments don't just help in the comebacks, but those adjustments are helping Michigan to get the lead and sustain the lead moving forward as well. In the NCAA tournament, you can never feel comfortable with a lead, but if there is a team that you can feel comfortable with a lead, at least slightly, right? You never, like I said, you never want to feel comfortable with a lead, but if there's a team in this tournament that I feel the most comfortable with a 10-point, 15-point lead or something like that, it's Michigan. And I think if Michigan gets out in front early in this one and you see Arizona with a 10-point deficit, a 15-point deficit or something like that, I think this Michigan team's going to hold on to it and get to the end because of Dusty May and his coaching, what they're able to do. Number 4, the overall KenPom edge and the tougher schedule preparation for Michigan as well. As we've seen, the Big Ten has been a gauntlet this season, not just with the high caliber teams, but you also have a team like Iowa, who was a 9 seed, making it to the Elite 8. You had a team like Illinois who lost, nearly 10 games this season. They were closer to losing 10 than they were to losing 0. And so this Illinois team is a team that's in the Final Four, and they weren't even, really in contention at the end of the year for winning the Big Ten. Now, part of that was Michigan being able to win the conference by multiple games, a conference that has 2 teams in the Final Four that had half of the teams in the Elite Eight. So this is obviously a very strong conference, and Michigan, they dominated the conference, quite frankly. I mean, the only teams that were able to beat them was Purdue in that Big Ten championship game, which I'm not sure anybody was beating on that day, and then also Wisconsin when they just kind of went crazy shooting from 3 in that one. So Michigan, the number 1 overall KenPom team. Arizona, another very good KenPom team, but the Wolverines faced and crushed higher quality opponents in competition throughout the year in the Big Ten Gauntlet, giving them the slight analytical advantage and a near even matchup. And I just think looking at all these things, Michigan has that matchup edge that's going to present them with the better opportunity here for the win. Number 5, my final reason, like I said, kind of when I talked about the ball movement and stuff like that, I think that Michigan has just elite guard playmaking and transition speed at this time right now, which is so crazy to think about because it was one of the biggest talking points of people of like, well, Michigan might not win at all because of guard play, because of playmaking, whatever it might be. That has not been the case in the NCAA tournament. They are playing at their best level right now. Elliot Cadeau with 10 assists against Tennessee. Michigan has a higher adjusted tempo, which is not by much, but still a higher adjusted tempo. And right now, fast break efficiency, Michigan is 25.7 transition points per game with front court versatility in Yaxel Lindeborg, who had 27 points in the Elite Eight. I would not be surprised at all if you see Michigan start shooting the 3 more in transition in this one as well. So Arizona, another team that can get out in transition too. Don't get me wrong, but I think that you just look at all these different areas and it's like, yeah, Arizona can score with you. Arizona can be really good down low and get to the free throw line and all that stuff. So that's great. You have to respect this Michigan offense as well. Now, if there is one area that I am concerned about with this Arizona team, and I will give this to Arizona, right? I don't want to be too much of a Big Ten homer. I do want to give this to Arizona. It is one area that I probably am concerned about with them. It's the offensive rebounding that Arizona has, right? They can miss shots, like I said, 55th or 53rd in the country in 2-point percentage. So they can miss shots as well. But if they're missing shots, they have guys who are going to crash the boards, get rebounds as well. Arizona right now, 5th in the country, 38.4% offensive rebounding rate. Michigan against offensive rebounding is 46th in the country. So that is an area there where, Arizona definitely has the advantage. We'll see how Dusty May schemes it up for him and makes it work. Very interesting matchup here. Let me know down in the comment section who you think is going to win. What's your score prediction? If you're an Arizona fan, welcome to the channel. We appreciate having you here. If you're a Michigan fan, like and subscribe to the channel because we talk Michigan Wolverines, we talk Big Ten football, we talk Big Ten basketball on here all the time.